Welcome to a new Aphantasia YouTube clip. Today, was going to talk about thinking, but something cropped up that made some sense. And while I was thinking about it, I thought, well, I'm going to cover it this week. So this one is about memory, but it's about a particular aspect of memories. Now, I mentioned before that I've watched a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of historical television programs that I remembered as a child. Stuff that was on the 70s or the 80s, even some on the 60s. I re-watch a lot of movies that I've seen, like I re-watch science fiction movies like the Aliens, Arrival, The Martian, Star Trek, Star Wars, lots of the same stuff. I re-watch it lots of times. And same with Netflix series like The Expanse that was on Netflix, now it's on Amazon. I'll rewatch lots of things like that. I'll watch it again, a couple of weeks, months, and then watch it again. I didn't really understand why, to be honest. I probably attributed this to poor memory, aphantasia, poor working memory. Quite a few things probably. I never really understood the rationale or the reason. Why did I do that? I think it was probably an individualistic thing. I did it as an individual. I couldn't imagine there was a practical reason why it was occurring. So anyway, what happened recently? I was talking to someone who explained to me something about memory I didn't really understand. They were explaining how memories are formed and the importance of something called consolidation. Now, I'll probably try and add something into this video, so to give that as a reference, so you kind of got the context of what I've seen, so you understand where I'm coming from this. So let's put that bit in now. So, what does consolidation mean when it's applied to memories, as you've just seen? Well, it means to store memories or to access them in any detail. People revisit that memory and it adds to that layer of knowledge and that information. It kind of builds it up into something more substantial. Now, because I've got aphantasia, that's kind of difficult for a standard memory because I've got no visual thing to add to it. So that becomes difficult. I've got no acoustic ability, so I don't add sound to things because obviously I've got no way of creating that because, again, the aphantasia means I can't add to that. But additionally, because of the SDAM, I can't have the experience part of that either. So the experience that connects that all together as an episodic memory doesn't exist either. So the question becomes, why is that more, why is it important to consider my thought about television and YouTube? So why is this relevant? Now, bear with me a moment because I think this is relevant. I think this is how this works. By watching the video, I am consolidating that information. So if I see something as a clip in a movie, on YouTube, in a television program that I subsequently re-watch even, I am consolidating that information to become more of a memory than it was. So, give a practical example of this. I really like the television series The West Wing when it was on. Now, I watched literally every single episode. So, Donna, the president, all of the characters in it, CJ, yeah, totally know where they are. I can watch almost any scene and know where they are in that scene. Now, why is that possible? I think it's possible because those TV programs have become consolidated memories for me because of the sheer amount of times I've watched them. I'm simply remembering the last time I watched it rather than the original. Now, I'm not saying this is fundamentally fact. I'm not saying this is how it works, but it would be an interesting interpretation from what I was told to how I think it might be for me. Now, how to use that I haven't figured out yet, but I wanted to share this with you because I think it's an important thing regarding aphantasia, memory, working memory, all that stuff, because of the pure consolidation of memories. I hadn't really thought about that before. Now, it's in some of the diagrams. If you look at the connection between short-term and long-term memory, there is consolidation is part of the diagram that's drawn. But I hadn't figured out the practical application of it when thinking about memories, and made the connection to why I think that applies directly to anything I watch visually, such as YouTube, television, movies, anything like that. Now, I think it happens more for television and YouTube and some movies, purely because I watch them more. So if I had a single experience at the cinema, watched one film and never saw it again, I don't think that information would be consolidated in the same way as I've watched a different movie many times, once at the cinema and many times subsequently on the television or the phone. So I think it's about the number of times. Now, I don't know the number of times I would need to watch anything for it to become substantially consolidated, but I think it's a really interesting thought, and I wanted to share that while I still had the idea of it. So I'll have a think about it. Think what you think about consolidating memories. Do you think what I've said is valid? Does it sound an interesting thought about, or theory on how this might work for us as a group of individuals, or is it just me personally this works for? Let me know. Usual ways of contacting. Leave a comment on on YouTube. On Facebook, I have a Facebook page, I think, as well, and also, of course, Twitter. I think it's interesting to think about this, because I think it's one of the questions that people who have consolidated memories, because they have the deep visual experience with sound, they aren't going to really notice this occurring, because to them it would be the same as everything else. It's only because when we start thinking about it, we think this only applies to certain conditions and situations, like with me. The more I thought about it, the more I can actually understand how and when it applies and why it applies. So have a think, let me know. I'll be interested to know what you guys think and thoughts and feedback from this. So anyway, thank you for watching, and be another episode soon following the one I was thinking about, which was thinking. Thank you.